Bradley Barcola is a beast.
Intercepted by Vitinha. Barcola now one-on-one with Grady. Bradley Barcola!
He has all the qualities you're looking for in a winger. Fast, excellent dribbler, someone that can create something out of nothing.
Barcola coming forward, he'll go for goal again, Bradley Barcola!
You know, he is potentially the marquee signing that Liverpool fans are looking for, certainly one of many big signings over the course of this summer. They need to give Andoni Iraola all the tools they possibly can to compete in the Premier League and on the Champions League front.
According to The Athletic, Iraola has made it clear that he wants a winger. But the question is this guy really worth spending so much money on? Bradley Barcola is a player with a lot of untapped potential. He would start for 99% of teams, but at PSG he had to rotate with the likes of Kvara, Ousmane Dembele, and Doué, so lots of competition. But although he wasn't an out-and-out starter, he still showed how good he can be. The first quality you will notice from him right away is how fast he is. The Athletic used data from Skill Corner and had him ranked 4th across Europe's top 5 leagues for peak sprint velocity. His Skill Corner run profile also shows that the majority of his off-ball movement comes from direct runs in behind. So when you get this guy the ball, he's basically guaranteed to be in a 1v1 situation. And in 1v1 situations, this guy cooks anyone in his way. He'll almost invite the defender towards him, wait for them to commit, and then suddenly explode past them. And once Barcola gets the first step, yeah, good luck catching him. His long strides allow him to cover an incredible amount of ground very quickly, and he's also strong enough to use his body to protect the ball while running. That's why he's so dangerous in transition. PSG would win the ball deep inside their own half, give it to Barcola, and within a few seconds, he's carried it 30 or 40 yards up the pitch. Defenders can't really just force him to one side either. Barcola loves coming onto his stronger right foot, but he's also perfectly comfortable going around the outside and attacking the byline. So the defender basically has to guess. Show him inside and he can shoot. Show him outside and he can blow past you and then put the ball across goal. According to The Athletic, he completed 1.85 take-ons per game last season, which was the 12th highest figure in Ligue 1.
I think the fact that Premier League teams are interested in Barcola and have been for a while is no surprise at all, because of his pace, because of his ability to split games open and stretch games as well.
The important thing to note about Barcola is that every time he's been given more opportunities and responsibilities, he's only gotten better. In the 2023-2024 season, he wasn't an out-and-out starter because Mbappe the dictator was still there. The next season though, the first season without Mbappe, this brother put up 21 goals and 18 assists in all competitions. I know some of you at home are saying, well, it's only the Uber Eats league, but 39 goal contributions is impressive no matter the league. According to Transfer Market, it's 21 goals and 21 assists, but I think those guys count winning a pen as an assist, so I don't know how reliable it is. He scored 6 goals in his first 6 Ligue 1 matches, and suddenly looked like a completely different player. He went from taking 1.6 shots per 90 minutes in Ligue 1 during the 2023-2024 season to more than 3.5 the following season. If you still somehow doubt his contributions, look at what he did in the Champions League. In the 2024-2025 season, Barcola balled out against City, against Stuttgart, and Stade Brestois as he helped PSG win their first ever Champions League.
Start to the second half. It's brilliantly done by Barcola. And he's got options as well, Barcola, and one of them's Dembele. And just against the bar, Barcola, 2-2.
Nuno Mendes, brilliant take. Then he stumbled, but he gets the shot away, and PSG lead after 19 minutes. 1-0 on the night. Bradley Barcola, brilliant take, brilliant finish.
Near post to helped on and in.
The next season, Barcola scored in both legs as PSG completely destroyed Chelsea 8-2 on aggregate in the round of 16. He also got an assist against Liverpool in the next round. It's one thing to look amazing in Ligue 1 when you play for PSG. You have all the possession in the world, multiple attacking opportunities to score. But the fact that he went into the Champions League where there's higher stakes, higher pressure games, and still performed, it tells you everything you need to know about how good this guy is. And if there were still questions about whether Barcola could produce outside of PSG's system, they were answered at the 2026 World Cup. He became an incredibly useful weapon for France. Sometimes he started, sometimes Didier Deschamps brought him off the bench. Either way, he always found a way to make an impact. Against Senegal, he only played 11 minutes, but he still scored. Against Norway, he entered in the 64th minute and provided an assist. Then against Sweden, he started on the left and he was brilliant. He played the full 90 minutes, scored, and helped France win 3-0 comfortably. I don't know how many of you watched the third place game, but he looked really good versus England as well. Though I will have to mention that nobody was defending in that game. It looked like a basketball all-star game. France were struggling and Barcola was introduced at halftime, and pretty much immediately the game changed. He gave France that direct threat they were missing. He started running at defenders, creating chances, and eventually he scored himself. He finished the tournament as the player with the most line-breaking passes between the defensive and midfield lines. His movement inside the box has also become incredibly dangerous. One of his favorite runs is attacking the blind side of the fullback. The defender is ball watching, so Barcola moves behind him, and suddenly he's arriving at the back post completely unmarked. Unfortunately, Liverpool fans know this run all too well from watching Trent Alexander-Arnold. Barcola can also come deeper and combine with the midfielders. He will receive the ball in the half space, play a quick 1-2, and immediately spin away from his defender. And because he's so quick, once that defender loses him for even a second, the chance to catch him is gone. Then there's the finish we've seen him use over and over again. He loves receiving the ball on the left, opening his body, and then bending the shot towards the far corner. It became one of his signature moves at PSG. Another reason why I think Iraola wanted Barcola so bad was because he's not one of those wingers who switches off when he doesn't have the ball. He's more than willing to do the dirty work out of possession too. He'll track the opposition fullback, drop deeper to help his own defender, and the moment that PSG lost possession, he was willing to immediately turn around and press to try to win it back. That makes him incredibly useful in aggressive pressing system. Now, of course, not everything around this transfer is sunshine and rainbows. And the first question is, why are Liverpool spending so much money on yet another left winger? Alexander Isak, Florian Wirtz, Rio Ngamoa, Hugo Ekitike, and Gakpo, if he's not sold, can all play on the left. Now yes, Barcola can also play on the right wing, but he's a natural left winger.
But there's certain players you look at and you think, okay, I think he could do a job on both sides. That's it. Yeah. But Barcola, just when he runs with the ball, I just couldn't imagine him going on the outside of someone and whipping across him. He's definitely that one of when he comes inside and I'm a little bit worried, but
for a Liverpool team that is trying to replace the beast that Salah was on the right-hand side, it seems weird to spend all that money on a player and then play him in a position where he would be second best in. He isn't able to cut inside onto his stronger foot from the right, so that naturally limits some of his qualities. Then there's his inconsistent finishing. The numbers look pretty good on the surface. He scored 14 Ligue 1 goals in the 2024-2025 season and another 11 the following season. But if you actually watch him, you'll notice that his finishing is incredibly inconsistent. Barcola has one finish that he absolutely loves. It's the one I showed you guys earlier, coming in from the left, opening his body up, and curling it into the far corner. When it works, it looks beautiful. The problem is that a lot of defenders know it's coming. Teams have become much better at showing him towards the outside and taking away that shooting angle, and that's where his weaker left foot becomes a problem. Barcola is nowhere near as comfortable finishing with his left. That's something he'll need to improve on if he truly wants to become an elite goal scorer. Barcola can also go through some pretty frustrating cold stretches. When there's space and the game is open, he's terrifying. But when a team sits extremely deep and gives him absolutely nothing to run into, things can become more difficult. Sometimes he'll get impatient. Instead of recycling possession and waiting for a better opportunity, he'll take a difficult shot from a bad angle or try to force something through multiple defenders. And when teams start double teaming him, the problem becomes even more noticeable. Suddenly he can't beat the first defender as easily. There's another player waiting behind him, and the quality of his chances start dropping. You can see it in his shooting accuracy. In the 2024-2025 season, around 52.7% of his shots were on target. The following season, that dropped to 45.5%. Now that's not some catastrophic decline, but it does show you that his finishing wasn't completely reliable. His assist numbers dropped too. In the 2025 season, Barcola had 10 assists in Ligue 1 and 21 across all competitions. The following season, he got 7 assists in all competitions and just 1 in Ligue 1. That's partly because he started playing safer. He wasn't attempting as many dangerous key passes. His key passes dropped from around 2.15 per 90 to just 1.24. His crossing numbers also got worse, with his completed cross percentage falling from around 33% to 23%. And this is where you get to another weakness of Barcola. At times in the final third, he will get tunnel vision. He beats the defender, he gets into the penalty area, and his first thought is to immediately shoot, which isn't always a bad thing. Sometimes you want your wingers to be aggressive, to be a little bit selfish. But in many instances, Barcola had a completely open teammate in the middle, and instead he took a shot from a tight angle that never had any chance of going in. That's going to be an area of his game that he has to develop at Liverpool. Now, another reason why Barcola's stats dropped is because PSG brought in another freak left winger in Kvaratskhelia in January of 2025. Kvara immediately started performing at an incredibly high level, and Luis Enrique began preferring him in that position. During the 2025-2026 Ligue 1 season, Barcola started just 21 of PSG's 34 matches. And even that number is a little bit misleading because a lot of his starts came at the back end of the season where PSG do their resting gimmick so that everybody's fresh for the Champions League, because even their second starting 11 can beat anybody in Ligue 1. In Europe, the situation became worse. An ankle injury ruled Barcola out for the first leg of PSG's Champions League quarterfinal against Liverpool. By the time he returned, the team was already playing so well without him, and he couldn't win back his starting position. So when PSG reached the biggest games of their season, Barcola was watching from the bench. He was used as a sub during the Champions League semi-finals against Bayern, and again in the final against Set Piece FC. For a player who had looked like one of PSG's future stars only a year earlier, that was obviously frustrating. That's why he became open to leaving, and that's why he would come to Liverpool with a chip on his shoulder to prove people wrong. Iraola and Liverpool are hoping that with more playing time, more opportunities, more responsibilities, they can get the best out of Barcola and tap in to his untapped potential, because he has all the qualities to thrive in an Iraola system. His teams press high, try to win the ball back immediately, and then attack the opposition before they have time to reorganize. And Barcola, he's basically built for that type of football. We've already talked about how hard he works defensively. He's willing to press fullbacks, chase defenders, and immediately counter-press whenever possession is lost. But the really exciting part is what happens when Liverpool actually win the ball, because Barcola is terrifying in transition. Give him the ball with 30 yards of open space ahead of him, and suddenly the opposition has a massive problem. There could also be a really interesting partnership between him and Milos Kerkez. Barcola naturally wants to start from the left and move inside onto his right foot, while Kerkez loves playing forward on the overlap. So when Barcola comes inside, the Hungarian can attack the space he left behind. That gives Liverpool two different threats on the same side and makes it much harder for the opposition fullback to know who he's supposed to follow. According to The Athletic, Barcola is 99.6% similar to Luis Diaz, so he would be able to fill that void that the Colombian left after helping Liverpool become Premier League champions. We've seen this guy produce huge numbers for PSG, we've seen him perform in the Champions League, we have even seen him ball out for France. The talent is absolutely there. He has the pace, the dribbling, and the work rate that Liverpool want from their attackers. But does it actually make sense to spend that much money on another left winger when the biggest hole in your attack is on the right? Because if Liverpool are breaking the bank for Barcola, they must have a very clear answer for where he's gonna play. Otherwise, they might have ended up signing an incredible player who actually doesn't solve their biggest problem. Now, another new player that has joined Liverpool is Ronald Araujo. Some say he's a bozo, others say he's a beast. To see who's telling the truth, you have to watch this video right here.